The Congress-led opposition has protested in Parliament against the new Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister's statement crediting Pakistan, the Hurriyat and terrorists for peaceful elections in Jammu and Kashmir. This despite the Home Minister telling the House that the government categorically disassociates itself from the controversial statement made by Mufti when he was addressing his maiden news conference as Chief Minister on Sunday afternoon. The opposition could not be placated. Samajwadi Party Chief Mulayam Singh Yadav demanded that the Prime Minister himself clarify his position. The Congress demanded a resolution in the Lok Sabha to condemn the statement, following which party MPs staged a walkout of the Lok Sabha in protest.
We walked out because of our deep concern about the statement made by the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, essentially giving credit for the peaceful elections in that state to militants and separatists. We want to make it very clear that Indian democracy does not run on the sufferance of terrorists or their sympathizers, that as far as we are concerned, it is the people of Kashmir who deserve full credit for having come out and voted. It is the Election Commission that deserves a share of the credit for its contribution, and it is definitely the security forces and their efforts that have created the environment in which a peaceful election could take place. We wanted that the Prime Minister, whose name had been taken by the CM in his statement, should come and clarify. And we also wanted, frankly, that the Speaker should allow our leader to speak and express the deep sense of the House, by the way, of parties across the House on this matter.
How do you see this alliance in Jammu and Kashmir?
Well, it's a somewhat unnatural marriage and clearly already a troubled marriage because half the people who voted, or perhaps a majority of the people who voted for the PDP voted in order to stop the BJP. And now the two of them are in bed together. And we've already seen that this marriage has begun with one party disassociating itself from a statement issued by the leader of the other. We'll see how long this...
So no honeymoon period for this marriage?
It didn't last very long, did it?
Let's go straight across to headlines today. Shujaul Haq joining us live from Srinagar. Shuja, what's the word on the ground? You know, here in the national capital, in the Lok Sabha, in Parliament, there's outrage, there are protests. What's happening in Jammu and Kashmir?
Well, Shiv, if you look at it, it's very interesting. It's a double-ended sword, in fact, for the PDP. The statement is not only harmful for a party like BJP at national level, it's also very difficult to, explain for people in the Hurriyat and separatist camps. Overtly, publicly, they have stood completely against the entire process of elections and have issued poll boycott calls. And now when the elected chief minister is coming here and saying that it was, he was thankful that there were no untoward incidents, and also some sort of an understanding with the Hurriyat that, who allowed, according to him, the process of elections to go through. It's very, very difficult for them to explain it on the ground. So both ways, the statement that was made by the chief minister yesterday has not gone down well, either with the people in the valley or certainly with the leaders of BJP at the national.
रिकॉग्नाइज करके न गोली यही वोट है तकदीर की पर्ची जो हमें भारत के संविधान में आईन में एक राइट मिला है वोट का राइट। जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों को इसी में ज्यादा विश्वास है। दे डिड नॉट इंटरफियर जैसे होता था। एक दूसरा प्रेस का ये मुझे है कि दे वांट मेक माउंटेन अबाउट ऑफ मोटिव। जो पॉजिटिव बातें वहाँ है वो नहीं करके इसको क्या मुफ्ती ने क्या कहा? मुफ्ती ने ये कहा कि भाई जम्मू कश्मीर को जो भारत के आईन में डेमोक्रेटिक राइट मिला है, जो डेमोक्रेटिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस को एक ताकत मिली है, वोट की पर्ची को एक ताकत मिली है, रिकॉग्नाइज करके उन्होंने समझा इसमें कुछ नहीं है, बाकी चीजें तो हो गई, एवरीथिंग दे अप्लाई, देयरफॉर दे रिकॉग्नाइज दिस इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी। और में कोई नहीं है, आई डोंट वांट टू कंटेंट, जो मैंने कह दिया है यही कह दिया है, स्टैंड बाय
All right, that was the new Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister brazening out his statement, not quite clarifying really sort of sidestepping this entire controversy, refusing to engage and get at more. But there's more, because President of the PDP and Mufti's daughter, Mehbooba Mufti, has said that her father has not said anything wrong on the Jammu and Kashmir elections, as during assembly elections, violence was less in comparison to the parliament elections. So there you have it. You've got the PDP chief, Mehbooba Mufti, justifying her father's words, and that's only going to add to the controversy, Shuja.
Absolutely, and in fact, it's becoming all the more interesting now. This is something that they would not have expected happening from the first day of their working as coalition partners in Jammu and Kashmir. And I can tell you, both in Srinagar as well as in Jammu, there are divergent views on this point. As I was explaining earlier, it's not very easy for even the separatist camps to explain and come out and stick their necks out. In fact, yesterday when I was speaking to a senior leader of a separatist party, he said, I don't want to comment on it, because at this point of time I don't know what exactly should be the right words of either denying or clarifying this. That is the level of complication that this statement has made. On the ground, certainly I think even the BJP leaders in the state are finding it very difficult to explain. We haven't heard anyone coming out from the BJP state leadership and sort of clarifying that. We have only seen the statement that has happened in the parliament. But the important point that even the Congress members are raising is the manner in which the new chief minister made this statement, saying that he put this on record and has also told the prime minister in his meeting few days back that this was what he felt happened on the ground. Clearly, this is not something that is going to die down anytime soon. Certainly, there are ramifications, and it's only going to be very interesting to see which side the PDP goes from here on.
Absolutely. Shuja, stay with me for a moment. Let's just play out for our viewers what Mufti Mohammad Sayeed has said in the aftermath of all this outrage.